tough game ahead on Sunday. You know, as it stands now, Tennessee's the #1 seed, so they're a great team, and it was a tough game here, and so it'll be, you know, a team that's playing really, really well that you'll have to go on their home court and beat. So a lot of work between now and Sunday afternoon at 3, and we just need to put our nose to the grindstone and get to work and get going, see if we can go down there and compete.
What do you think the team learned from last night? Maybe because of that Tennessee game where they had chances at the end that really came through last night, how they finished?
Well, you know, we had a chance to finish well in regulation and didn't play very smart there. So hopefully, you know, once we get the team together today, we can learn from that. And then, you know, it was a near disaster at the end of overtime, and they found a way to get it into the second overtime. And so in the double overtime, it was just a real good hustle play there at the end. It's hard to describe how many mistakes we made last night. I mean, it was not a real great performance by us, but hopefully they will try to build on it. You know, it's a win, and it's significant, and it's against a really good team, and it, you know, helps propel you forward. So now this is another opportunity. Sunday can propel you forward if you can win the game. So, you know, for us right now, we're just trying to really still teach and try to get everybody on the same page. I know that's just like a broken record, but I just try to be honest with everybody and let you know it's you know, a lot of times in the game we had 4 people playing hard. We had an 8-player rotation last night, and you know, 4 people I thought really played hard. I thought 4 people were very kind of sporadic with their effort, and that's just not a good formula for us. So you see us get up by 14 and you know, a chance to try to come out in the second half and really establish a great lead, and we didn't do that. So it's just still a real process for us. We're going to really try to learn between now and Sunday and see if we can go down there and play a good game.
Winning there last time, does that help with confidence, or does it help with motivation or any?
You know, I don't know that it would hurt for the players that were down there last year. A lot of players that weren't, that will be counting on. Michaela's role much different down there. I haven't looked at that game. I don't remember her being a real big factor in the game last year. So a lot of different faces, and it'll be tough. It'll be a big crowd, and not many will be for us. So it'll be tough, so whatever benefit, I'll be happy for it to be a benefit, but it's not something that I'm saying, oh, wow, we won last year, so, you know, mark it down this year. It's not my approach. You know, I just tend not to focus on the opponent right now. It looks like a lot of the games are the same, and we're the common denominator there. So just trying to get us to play smarter basketball, more consistent basketball. Just see if we can start clicking.
After Jen scored 43 in that game, there was really no concern on your part that she wouldn't be grounded, or Jen was just always Jen. With Michaela, does that concern exist, that she played so well and had such a big night that, you know, she maybe won't work as hard as she's been working?
I don't think that'll be the case. I think there was a time in her life where maybe that would have been the case. But I sense that she has grown a lot over the last year. I think coming out of high school, that may have been the case. I think last year was very humbling for her. I think she also just has grown as a person and knows how much we need her. And she and I are communicating very closely and regularly. So we'll talk about it. You know, I texted her last night just how proud I was. It's an epic night, epic performance. But stay humble, stay hungry, come in tomorrow for improvement. And so I don't that's not one of my main concerns going into the game. Conversation will be more like, let's do what we need to do to win. You do what you need to do to win. May not be score 42. Maybe she may have to score 50. I don't know. She just needs to do what we need her to do, win in that game. So we get in the game, we'll see. She needs to score for us. So for us to be really good, she's one of our main scoring options. She's very difficult to guard. So, but she doesn't need to go out mindset if she misses the first 2 or 3, oh gosh, I'm behind pace or whatever. She just needs to stay really focused on what we need to do to beat Tennessee, and that's what I'll talk to her about.
You mentioned before the last game that she started working as hard as she is talented, that she's sort of.
Yeah.
What is she doing specifically that you see on a daily basis to kind of show you that she's on the front?
Well, this is what I'm hoping I can get some of our other key players into the mindset. It starts with your mindset. And so we've started talking about what kind of person do you want to be. Let's get very organized in our day. You have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders. Trying to have you be a great student. She is a good student, but not a great student, and that's all because of her approach to it. So we're trying to get her day organized. And in that day, what are my responsibilities? Academics, clearly. And then I've got a big time responsibility to get on the floor and be able to make shots. So I've got to spend time outside, and has to be on my own. I need to study and become a cerebral player where I know what the team is supposed to be doing, so I can quarterback the team, I can coach the team, I can be the extension of coach on the floor. That takes study time. So she's sort of embraced all that. She's a work in progress, and she's still has room for improvement, but her mindset has changed. And so, that is when you are able to get all that stuff to come together. God-given talent that she has, good high basketball IQ, and then you get the uncommon work ethic that we try to preach here. Then you take a good player, and then she becomes a great player. So that's what I think she can be. Will she? It's not, I tell her this all the time, it's not whether you can or you can't, it's whether you will or you won't. And a lot of that's up to her. I'm trying to do everything I can to help, but I think she's trending in that direction, and it starts with the way she's approaching life right now. It's a little bit different than when she showed up as a young freshman. Everybody thought she was the greatest, and she was a very good high school player, but she needed to do things differently to be a great college player, and I think she's maybe understanding that now.
Was that game last night kind of more like the old Maria before the injury, the kind of shot she took, maybe some of the chances she took dribbling the ball?
Yeah, I think she's doing a great job. I think she is getting close. I think we're in the process of trying to, get the brace off for the postseason, and I think it's a much smaller brace now, and I think she'll be much more comfortable. But I thought she was very, very effective for us last night, and we need her defensive energy, and she's very key to our improvement.
Last question. In coaching and motivating Michaela, do you ever kind of talk about her, ties to the university through her family and whatnot? Does that play a role?
That's that's evident. Her love for the university is evident in her history here, and it's not something that she shies away from, but it's not something we talk a lot about. Again, to me, it's not a huge factor in her improvement and how she's going to get better. Now, I tell this to all Kentucky players that we get involved with in the recruiting process. It's Jen O'Neill, they cheer for her, they love her. Bronx, New York, she gets big cheers, but there's something different when they call that starting lineup and it's Michaela Epps or it's been any of our Kentucky kids. It's just different. And then for Michaela, with the lineage she comes from, and with what Anthony was and means to the men's program, I think it even amps that up even a little bit more. And then Michaela's such a great connector with people, and such a great personality and enthusiasm for life. And so she is a very popular player here, and we want her to be a popular, great player. It's what we want her to be, and she'll always be popular, I think. But she could just get incrementally better just through the experiences of playing, and she'd be fine. She'll probably be, in the running for all-league player. If she really becomes great, she'll be an All-American. She'll be SEC Player of the Year. She'll be a first-round draft choice. She'll play, pros for 10 years. That's what we're trying to get her to.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Let's talk to Michaela. She'll be right here for a couple of minutes before they go into film.
If I'd known she was standing there, I wouldn't have said all that stuff. Slow your roll now. Slow your roll.
Come to the mic, huh? Mic's got to come to her.
I told my staff I came up with stuff I've never come up with before in my life. Did stuff today. Was thinking of ways to try to get out of that workout today. I went outside to greet people. Matthew and I had a half hour. I did not want to work out today. Hope my team is not feeling the same way.
What's your workout consist of?
I have a seafood diet. I see food and I eat it. I eat light. As soon as it turns light, I start eating.
What was it about not wanting to work out?
Just beat down.
Cal, Trey said that you let him in on the prank, that you had him go into the team hotel with his hood up and undercover. When did you decide to do that and why?
Well, the only reason I did it, I was on a plane and I'm thinking our fans are going nutty. They got to loosen up a little bit. This isn't life or death. It's not March. And so I tweeted or texted Dwayne Peavy, the tweet you saw. And he got up and started looking around the plane. And I said, it's a tweet, you idiot. He's right here in front of us. And when he did that, I knew, uh-oh, this is going to be absolutely outrageous. And we had people camped out at the hotel. We had people camped out as we got off the bus. Scouts, people with hat. What do you do? I'm a dentist, retired. Really? Why is one sock blue and one sock gray? I mean, what? So it was just stupid.
Is that for your fans to lighten up, or do you also?
Also the team, I wanted them to understand. I keep telling them, so what's the worst? Let's say it this time. We lose this game, we're 22-1, 23, whatever it is. What's the matter? Just go play. Let's try to get better.
You talked about how you're not the same without him and what you miss when he's gone.
Who are you talking, Trey?
He may not have been 100% in that game, but could you sense the difference it made to just have him?
Yeah, I mean, one guy can shift everybody into spots they need to be in. Guys got to be willing to sacrifice 3 minutes or 2 minutes. There are times where we got to go at him, which may take a shot away from some other guys, but it's what does it matter? At the end of the day, either you can play or you can't play. Reality. Either you're an efficient player or you're not. They don't need to see you for 40 minutes. That's all ego stuff. But there's a clutter that goes along with that we'll fight till the end of the year to keep everybody away from all that, what I would call the clutter of trying to infiltrate guys' minds and all that stuff.
John, when you have a month away from Selection Sunday, what is the biggest challenge for this team to be at its best in March?
Well, we talked yesterday about winning time. When you get teams down 13, 14, you got to get it to 20. We have a way of getting it to 6. And I told them in the NCAA tournament, when that becomes a 6 and they hit a 3-ball, the weight of the world is on you now, not on them. And they're going to play out of their minds. And you can end the season just based on a 3-minute stretch where you didn't get it from 16, 14 to 20. That's the issue we have now. When you have the 5th youngest team in the country, they're not mature enough at that point. They do something chin up. They do a look away pass. They take a shot they don't need to take. They stop defending and saying, come on, it's only one play. We're still working through that. But, we've been beat up. We've been a little injured. We'll see going forward.
Is youth the culprit in that then? Is that
Most of it is. But, last year, I told them, you look at Wichita State, they had us down 10. They messed around, we got back in the game, all of a sudden the weight of the world was on them at the end of the season. And their season ended. And shouldn't have played us. It was a bad seed, either trying to do us or them, whoever it was. It's a bad seed, but it did happen. We had to play the game, and that was the outcome, and that's what I told our team yesterday.
A week ago, Willie's saying he's not having fun. You're telling us that his ankle's hurting him in the last 2 games. He's basically dunked on everybody. What has changed?
Well, I went on the plane after, and I walked down the aisle of the plane, and I looked at him, I said, geez, your ankle wasn't hurting you today, huh?
Coach, how you feel about Julius? First game game, Coach?
No. So happy the Lakers have to deal with him.
ESPN said that they
No, they're not going to ask me on that. But we can all say what we want. It's about fouling. That's what the scoring is where it is right now. I would say 30 seconds would be fine. Doesn't change the game at all. Maybe adds 4 or 5 possessions. But if you keep fouling like we foul, not scoring staying the same. If you want more scoring, you got to loosen up the game. If you think that's what makes the game great. If there's body-to-body contact that's not obviously created by the offense, call a foul every single time. We coaches will adjust, or we'll foul out our team and go crazy and get thrown out of games. It may take a year or two, but call fouls. They're already in the rule book. Last year, we didn't have the stomach for it. We did it for 4 or 5 months, and none of us had the stomach for it. The NCAA didn't have the stomach. The officials didn't. The coaches didn't. To get this right, it took 3 years in the NBA, 3, to say this is the rule, officials will be fined, it is not changing. You adjust or you're out. That's where we got to go with this. 30 seconds would be fine, but 30 seconds would be 5 more possessions to foul somebody.
Another movement among some of the Power 5 conferences is to talk about freshman ineligibility. What is your reaction?
Well, that's pretty. I say this, every decision we should make, which we hadn't for 40 years, should be about these kids. Now, is that the best decision for these kids? Or are we worried about individual programs? Somebody came up with the baseball rule. Now, let me ask you this. So your son is 6'5", skinny, and over the summer he grows 7 inches and gains weight and becomes Shaq. But he had to go to college because at the time he was 6'5" and 120. He should stay in school 3 years because of a baseball rule? Now, is that good for the program, the coaches, or the players? If you want the baseball rule, let them go anytime they want. They can go as 11th graders, 12th graders, their first, second, third year in college. Or go to 2 years. And then do what you're supposed to take care of these kids when they're here. I think all the stuff, 2 years in college would give them almost 3 years of an education, get them back here. Now we have educated people. Our kids come back anyway, whether they leave 1 year. You know what's funny? When you're in the ivory tower and you're not down in this, you would make a statement that kids don't even go the whole year. At half year, they don't go. That means you're sitting up so high you have a nosebleed. If you want to ask our president what he thinks about our players, how they finish the term, how we have 13 out of 16 players with a B average, and they go to class, not internet or correspondence. Some of you may be doing that. We're not. There's not a cluster in one class. So they go to class, they do what they're supposed to, but they're a genius. That same guy in the ivory tower, if a guy goes and leaves Bill Gates to go start a company, he's fine. That kid's a genius, and I'm happy for him. But this guy is ruining our college. What? I don't get it. Again, I'm not that smart. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But I will tell you that when I look at this, I say, what's right for the kids? Not me, not the school, not the pro, not basketball, this animal. What's right for these kids? If it's right for them, it's right for all of us.
How did the guys on the bench react to you saying, I hope we lose the other day?
The guy heard a couple say, I hope we don't.
Have you watched your GIF about the fist pump? Have you ever done that for an opposing player?
Yeah, I have. I told the kid from Syracuse when I was at Memphis was killing us, Johnny, and I say, kill him, Johnny, you just kill him. He looks at me and says, you crazy.
You're talking about Willie. Can you talk a little about how his personality helps hold the team together? Or not?
I mean, Willie is Willie, and I want him to be who he is. I'm trying to get him to understand how good he can be, how you got to take risks, how you have to work, nothing's going to be given to you, how you have to relish physical play, how you have to get in this gym and spend more time and build your own self-esteem and self-confidence. That why wouldn't you want to be the best player in the country? Tell me, you scare you? Is that too hard? Would you, let me just be the 8th. I'm okay. Well, he can be as good as he wants to be, and that's the issue that I have with him all the time. It's not an issue, it's what we talk about. It was the same thing when I got him to start reading. You're talking about a really bright kid saying, well, I don't like school. Well, why? Tell me, why? Academics, it's learning. It's expanding your mind. Well, why don't you? And that's why we started reading together. But he's a great guy, really intelligent, great heart, kind-hearted. I just want him to be as good as we all see in spurts.
Two more guys.
What?
What have you been reading?
We read The Energy Bus together. We read God Never Blinks. We read about 4 books.
Back to scoring, who wins that game of horse, Michaela Epps or Booker? And can you arrange that?
Wow, she played good, 42. Told Matthew, it's great coaching, let her go. She's a good player. I'm happy for her.
Adam Silver
Last one.
mentioned about the NBA All-Star Game needing to be changed. He mentioned your name and saying maybe they should go to a platoon system. What do you think?
I think the chemistry in offense won't be good if they do that. That's fine, whatever they do. I'm just happy a bunch of our players are in it. And whether it's Nerlens being in the sophomore game, whether it's Brandon Knight, who if one more guy drops out, I think he's in, but he's in the skills. And then the other 3, not sure if Anthony's playing, don't know if he is or not, but DeMarcus and John, 2 of those guys were starting. So I'm proud of our guys, and the other guys are doing well. I mean, they're playing well and doing well. Thank you.